Hey, good morning and welcome to HUD News. Today's date is going to be September 4th, 2020. This is about the 100th or more video that I have made on YouTube. Most people know me as an authority on this. I also have a website which you can view, and I also offer consulting services for as low as I think $13.50 for 20 minutes. Okay, so I do cover many different arenas. I am an expert in my own area, given that I've written, have read over 91,000 pages and almost every HUD and COC manual that has been issued in the United States, along with all the federal code, regulation, and everything you can imagine over a 15-year period. Got a success rate of around 96%, and I'd like to read y'all some good news. So I don't always tell you about the emails that I do, but I like to show you a little bit of evidence, okay? I worked with this fellow right here for quite a while, and so he sent me this message. Hey, Big J, it's going down. I went to take the intake yesterday. Everything you said was to a T. I hit every question. I nailed it. I just wanted to see what the next step would be. Look, folks, and I'm going to show you one more, okay? And I just did a copy paste on this because I didn't want people to see the person's email. So they just as a summary, they went to the Homeless Coalition for the COC, and then it goes on to basically say that I was given the SPDAT, which is the other version of the test, and the attendant indicated that I should be easily placed. I just wanted to thank you again for your help. You were a godsend for me, okay? So the purpose of what I'm telling you is, look, people, when I prepare you to take a COC or a HUD test or an assessment or to get priorities on a test, you will nail it. You understand? You will nail it. I will send you off the charts when it comes to scoring. It doesn't matter what kind of waiting list it is. There is nobody in this country that has the combined knowledge that I do when it comes to dealing with these organizations and picking them apart and getting you guys qualified, okay? I don't sell vouchers, stuff like that. That's illegal. But I will definitely assure that if there's any advantage to be gained from this that is legally available, on the table for you, that's what I do, okay? And I think people come to realize that's the reason I'm an authority in that area, that I am an expert in that area. And that's why I work with hundreds of people every month and thousands every year. And I get emails from all over the country. And so I'm going to go ahead and wrap that up and just saying that, in the past week alone that I have managed to talk to over 30 clients in 22 states. And anybody with common sense can go on my YouTube channel, and what you won't find there is not a single negative comment saying that anything that I have done has not worked out. And even the videos that do have a dislike, you'd be hard up to find a single video out of 100 with more than 2 dislikes. Thumb down button, a thumb down button. And the reason I'm telling you that is most channels, hundreds of them, okay? I can count basically on my hands and toes how many times I've gotten dislikes in my videos. So that only speaks as a testament that I know what the hell I'm doing when it comes to this. Okay. All right, let's move on, folks. So website changes. Let's take a look at that. So I already showed you basically the website here, which is the web link, but let's take a look at the website. So on the main menu, when you go to the top, you'll see that I have suggested videos. That is just what it is. You can report housing discrimination. It goes real and deep on that area. You also, if you scroll down here, you'll see we have HUD manuals, COC manuals, HCB, and it goes on for days. There are manuals for just about everything. But the main topic we need to cover today is going to be eviction memorandum. Okay, so 2 days ago, the CDC said because we have a pandemic and the current president has signed this into law, you can now use this eviction memorandum in most cases to help yourself out and prevent eviction, okay? So the new eviction memorandum basically is an order to block an eviction if you meet certain criteria. And so if you want to look at who qualifies, you get on to step number 2. They made their best effort to obtain government assistance for rent. That they expect to earn no more than $99,000 in the annual year of 2020. They cannot make full rent payment because of loss of income, layoff, loss of work hours, or extraordinary medical expenses. That they are making their best effort to make a timely partial payments as close to the full payment as possible. That's subjective. I mean, you could give a landlord $1. It wouldn't matter. If evicted, they would become homeless. That's critical right there. You'd become homeless. You would need to live in a shelter, or you would need to move into a shared residence. Look, this makes it very, very simple, okay? But evidence, you have to come up with the correct evidence. So rather than rattle on about all of this, you can simply read on the website. But I want to tell you some of the things that you definitely need to know about this, okay? This is the form. Okay, so the link is to the form. You need to fill it completely out. You need to make a copy for yourself, and you need to make a copy for the landlord. The first thing I'm going to tell you is you've got to have proof. Okay, so when the police show up to evict you, okay, you need to have already handled the situation, which means you need to have this form filled out, and you need to make copies. And so some of your available options as proof to that police officer is going to be something like this. I'm going to go back real quick. Now you can mail a form, okay? So you can mail the form, fill it out, and then you mail that form to them. But I would make sure that you pay the post office to make sure that they sign, okay, saying they received it, and that be sufficient, okay? Make sure that when you mail your form in, that you're also answering these questions, okay, right here, and that's all the different reasons why you can't make your rent. Okay, so these things in blue right here, you need to indicate, okay, you're going to make me homeless if I leave. I'm willing to give you $5 a month or whatever I've got to give you. Okay, so you need to include that with that form to the landlord. So if you don't want a confrontation, then you can do it by mail, but you're going to need a signature and you'll need them to sign for it. Look, landlords are not stupid. They're reading this information too, and they probably don't have as much as I do about it. But I'm going to tell you this. If you put your name and your address on there, they'll more than likely not want to sign to get that letter, okay? So you might just want to use a neighbor or a friend and their address, okay? That way, by the time they sign for it, it would be too late. They've been basically served, okay? The second option is for you to bring a non-family member. Do not bring your cousin and your aunt and all that stuff. You need to bring an independent person, okay, a friend or a coworker or whatever with you, and then have them stand there and just listen. They don't need to say anything. And then when you leave that conversation, hand over that form to the landlord. Then you go down to the nearest notary, have them fill out an affidavit saying that they did witness them receiving the form and information, and that should be sufficient. And then another way that you could potentially play this out is put your phone on record, stick it in your upper pocket up here, and record the conversation between you and the landlord. And then basically that video should also show that they're getting receipt of that form, they're receiving it in their hands, and then some type of negotiation. So you have to verbally tell them that you're trying to work with them, okay? I think that that's probably the weakest thing that you could do in this case. And then the last one would be for you to show up and then sign an agreement with the landlord along with the form where they agree with it. Okay. Same thing. You're still going to want to have a witness. Look, folks, if you need to have either sign for this form or you need to have a witness. And when I mean a witness, a witness, a video, and even a signature on the stuff. The police need evidence. If you already have an eviction that's going through the current court case, then probably this is not going to be retroactive and help you. But if you've not been served with the paperwork to show up in court, you need to get your butt down to the post office or you need to get over to the landlord's house and you need to make sure that you receive this form and your explanation immediately, okay? Immediately. And either get it notarized, get it mailed, or do whatever you have to do in order to follow these instructions. And so it covers just about everybody, okay? And so, like I said, if you have not been served, then you'd want to follow the instructions that I've given you on here. Now, look, guys, I'm not an attorney, obviously, okay? But this information is written by the government, and it's simply just published on my website. And I don't think you need an attorney to interpret, rules of evidence. And for you to prove your case, I would strongly advise that you keep your paperwork and/or videos with you at all times. And then I want you to remember one thing, guys: when January 1st hits, actually December 31st at midnight, right after Christmas, it's over with, okay? And so if they don't extend it beyond that, then you could probably expect they're going to serve you. And then, of course, the law does say that you will have to produce all that rent throughout the whole year that you've not paid that landlord. And if you can't do that, then pretty much the game's over. So really, I think this is just buy you some time, but that's what I'm telling you guys. You should be looking at your housing options now. If you don't have a consultant, hire one. You don't have to hire me, but really, I don't think anybody else in the country does what I do when it comes to consulting people. And as always, you can use the information on the website free. And I have a ton of videos, over 100 videos that you can watch. If you're a self-help type person and don't want to pay somebody $13 or $80 an hour to help you. So with all that being said, folks, that's what you're going to need to do. Okay, so it's there. It's been effective 48 hours. Don't get yourself evicted, but in the meantime, you need to be working on your HUD or COC applications. You need to have the right answers before you ever go and apply at these places, because a lot of people come to my channel and they're crying. They're crying because they went and applied and did it their way without listening to anything that I've said, and now they're wanting help from me. Look, I can't. Once you apply, there's very little I can do for you. You've already given them all the wrong answers, and you pretty much burned your situation. The only thing I can effectively do for somebody that's gone in and applied and given them a bunch of ridiculous answers because they thought they knew the system is possibly try to revise those answers and update your application, but really you probably burned your bridge. Okay, that's why I'm telling you guys. It's the best $13, $13.50 you'll ever spend for a landlord dealing with a tenant. It's probably the best $80 an hour you'll ever spend trying to get some advice to keep yourself from getting in a lot of financial problems and keep yourself off the sidewalk. Okay.